Hey, Hound Dogs, I'm David Hankins,
I'm Paul Hankins.
and you're welcome to On the Air with Power Squared. We have a special guest, Gary Gorilla. Now, Lucas Scheffel is back for his seventh time on the show, and he's coming to us as his current title character, Gary Gorilla, right?
Hey guys, how you going?
Pretty good. Uh, so, you're committed. We give you credit for that.
I am committed. I'm fully here in the suit, and it's I'm gonna sound like an Australian right now. It's so bloody hot. It's like and it's
Yeah,
like winter. It's winter here, but
right.
like I'm inside and I've got this, you know,
Yeah, that's
this
fine.
this thing on. It's like,
If you
oh
want to
man,
sound like an Australian, you feel free.
yeah. Thank you.
We won't hold that against you. Uh, so, speaking of Gary Gorilla, uh,
Yeah,
well, actually, I want to ask you the first. This is your seventh time to be on the show.
7.
Yes,
Whoa,
yes,
holy moly!
yeah.
Wow,
And
amazing.
we're trying to remember how did we meet? Do you remember?
I I don't know. Your recollection of things might be different to mine, but I recall we were a part of an Instagram chat. I don't know. Back in the day, Instagram must have had a thing where you could do a group chat. Do you remember that?
Uh, I thought we were maybe
Maybe
it was through some like Facebook group or something.
something like that. But I remember we were part of some group, and you were in it, and there was a few guys that were like share. We were trying to cross promote and share
Yeah,
things, and um, I think that's how I met you guys.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, you're the only one that's been on the show seven times. Wow.
Currently the only member of our Five Timers Club.
Yes, we're purposely keeping it down to just you. No,
I feel very privileged and
I'm
honored.
sure I'm sure you wear that T-shirt we send you all the time.
I do actually. I do.
Yeah,
I've got it. Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't wear it today, but yeah, I
That's,
thought I'd do something a little bit different for
yeah,
you guys.
I'll give you credit for that. So we were going to have you on during your Kickstarter, but things
Yeah.
happened. Is everything okay with that?
Uh, Sadly, yesterday, when was it? So it was last night my time, and it would have been yesterday their morning. My partner's grandmother passed away.
Oh,
So yeah, sort
sorry to
of
hear about that.
no, that's all right. It's
Well,
okay.
we were going to
Thank
have you
you.
on the show, and then she had to.
Yeah, it
Is she
just
still
sort of
there?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Everyone is like over there. I'm here on my own with the dog, and yeah, I don't know. I don't do too well on my own for some reason. I thought it would be okay. I've got work I can, get myself. I've got a lot of work I can get myself into, but yeah, it's weird when people aren't around. And
yeah.
the dog doesn't talk back, so
Well, it's a different dynamic,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. So
Well,
that's hence why I bought this suit, and I'm running around the house like a crazy, crazy
greet,
man.
greet the neighbors. Hi. uh, I leave you on your own, and what do? You wear a grill suit. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your partner's
Thank you so much.
grandmother. So our condolences.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
but tell us about the Gary Gorilla project, the Kickstarter. How did that go?
Yeah. So last month, around about the 19th or 20th of May, I launched. I think it's my fourth Kickstarter. So it's a
Yes.
comic book spin-off series about Gary Gorilla. Who features in my original comic book series Angry Squad with Angry Fred. And I decided to take Gary Gorilla and turn him into a supernatural hunter of supernatural entities. So it's kind of like,
That that
yeah,
makes sense. Sure.
yeah, yeah. And so I launched it on Kickstarter, did a 33-day campaign, and just last night it finished. And I was very, very successful. I got over my funding goal, which was great. And yeah, it was interesting. A lot of the backers that came from my previous campaigns, there was only about 20% of those that came back from the last three campaigns, and there was a whole bunch of new people that jumped on board, which was really, really interesting. I didn't
That's
expect that. So
yeah.
new audiences, new people. Yeah,
Good. Good.
yeah. So
Um,
yeah.
so, do you want to tell us about the story at all?
Well, the story is it basically starts in a cemetery called Graveland. It's a play on words for Graceland, Elvis's home. And why it's called Graveland is basically the cemetery is a resting place for Elvis impersonators. So,
There's probably enough of them.
Yeah, there is, because I read a statistic somewhere, and it was like really. This was back in the early 2000s, and it was like saying that if there was something like 1 in 5 people with an Elvis impersonator on the planet, then no, hang on, I don't know what it was. It was something random, and it says if that trajectory keeps going, like there's going to be like so many Elvis impersonators per population. So I was like, oh, that's really interesting. What would happen, if those Elvis impersonators turn into Elvis zombies? You know what I mean? So I sort of took that sort of angle and thought, okay, one night a porthole from another dimension opens up, kind of like the Terminator, and some siren comes through it, and she raises the Elvis impersonators from the dead, as you do, and then and then sort of some havoc wreaks through this small community, and then Gary Guerrilla gets wind of it, and he's on his way to another job, which and he's obviously got to help out, so he lures everybody in with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and meets
all right.
meets some random people along the way, but then he gets introduced to the one and only Elvis, the king, who happens to be there, and they kind of come together and fight these zombies off. But then there's a little bit more of a deeper story going on with this siren lady who we're not sure if she's here for world domination or to change the history of the world, or she's here to help. So, and there's a medallion.
Elvis, yeah.
She wants to see Elvis, maybe. Yeah, she's a big fan. But yeah, there's a medallion that's involved in the situation, and Gary has to sort of look within because he's not quite capable of fighting this off by himself, and he has to surrender to his own inner pride. Yeah.
Now, when I backed the project,
Thank you.
You're welcome. When I wrote about it on, I think, Facebook or Twitter, I'm saying, is the woman naked in this?
Yeah, it's funny. She is. I kind of
like that. Thought that would be a selling point on Kickstarter.
I thought it would be too, but it didn't. It didn't seem to go as bonkers as you see all this not for safe work stuff that all these guys do, and it's like I don't know if I'll be involved in that. But
what I saw wasn't quite as graphic as you see.
No, it's not. Yeah. It's not as graphic where stuff is out. And,
I thought if I said, is she naked, or that naked woman, they would be like, hey.
Yeah, I know. I thought they would jump on it. Yeah, she is. But like, I wanted to make it sort of tasteful and a little bit artistic and stuff. So it's, and I talked to the artist about it as well. Like, I don't want anything too graphic, or I don't want to see things that we don't want to see. So I just made it elegant and graceful. So. Yeah.
No, but I mean, the Terminator was naked when he came through.
Yeah, this is where I got my idea from. Yeah, that whole thing, a portal opening, and then the Terminator comes out and they're naked, like whatever version it is. Yeah, that's where I got that sort of idea.
Yeah, and why wouldn't she be?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So,
unlike me, who was in a suit. But anyway,
so how much were you after, and how much did you receive?
So I set a goal of 3,300 Australian. So I don't know. I think that's about half in the US
like
dollars.
2,200 or something here, or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And I cracked it 2 days before the thing ended, and I think I got about 3,600 Australian. So yeah, I was happy with that.
Okay.
So that'll go to printing books and getting stuff out to people. So.
What was your favorite reward?
Favorite reward? Oh, that's a really good question, David.
That's what we're here. Asking the hard, really good question.
Oh man, that's a really good question. I think there were two, and they were popular as well. The first one was the digital PDF pack. With that, obviously, you got a digital copy of the Gary Guerrilla book, but I reached out to a bunch of other comic artists and found books that were sort of in line with the supernatural theme, and got them to come on board and sort of like, give those PDFs.
Right.
So that pack, you'd pay $10, but you get over 200 pages worth of content, and that was quite popular with a lot of people, so which is good.
Yeah.
And the other one was just like the first entry level cover, which is about $28. But that came with like a little trading card and a few other little things, and came with a theme song that I had got a friend.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You have a theme song.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. My friend Big Sexy, he's a Australian hip hop artist here. He's of Indigenous background. I've known him for years. Very long story, very very big backstory with him. But I got on a bunch of calls with him like over a few months, and we said I want to write a theme song for Gary Gorilla. And I showed him the book. I gave him ideas, and we talked about different styles and different movies and influences. And then he went away and sort of we collaborated, and he created this amazing song. It was really cool.
You want to sing it for
track.
us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe afterwards.
My favorite, I guess, was an add-on was the Gary Gorilla figure.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's quite popular. I sold a few. I sold out of those at the recent comic convention I was at.
Well, you better have more because I ordered one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. I've got them ordered, so they're coming. So yeah, they're really neat. Like all the little yeah.
How did you get those made? I guess.
I didn't get them custom made or anything. I just sort of overseas it from I think Alibaba or one of those places. I just searched on it and looked for Lego style gorillas, and so yeah.
Okay, Alibaba. Okay.
Yeah.
So when will we be receiving our rewards?
When you will be receiving your awards. So at the moment, I'm collating all the pages to get ready for print, and I estimate by the first week of July, I should have everything sort of printed, ready to go, and then from there on in. So second week of July, mid-July, you should receive everything.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, everything's pretty much ready to roll.
Will this be available elsewhere? If somebody goes, I missed the Kickstarter.
Well, this is interesting. If you're watching the show right now, I have enabled late pledges on the Kickstarter campaign. So there's a new feature that's just come out.
You can do that.
Yeah, it's really new. So I'm just seeing and trialing how that goes. So at the moment, you can still grab a copy of the book if you want right now, but that won't be on there for very long, obviously.
Okay.
And outside of that, I'm going to take it to the comic book conventions that I'm going to here in Australia. So I'm going to 3 soon. So they'll be available at my table.
Right.
Along with a bunch of other cool stuff. And and then I'll obviously put it on my website, angryfredcomics.com as well when I get around to that.
Okay. Now, is this a one-shot, or is there going to be a whole series of Gary Gorilla books?
It's a good question. No, it's issue 1 of a 4-part series. So I've already written the 2nd and 3rd issue, so I'm just going through the 4th one.
Okay, so it's going to be over. You're going to do 3 more Kickstarters, I guess.
I'll see how I go. Yeah, I'll see how I go.
And better rewards.
Yeah, this is the thing with Kickstarter. Like when I first started it was my first book I did, Angry Squad 1. It was great. Like it just went, gangbusters. It's like just was like amazing. And then second one was not bad, and then the third one I did was good. But like I've just noticed things are tight for people at the moment. People's spending habits are a little bit different than they were before. A lot of the people that I know in this comic space in Australia, if they've got like a good backing and they've done it for a long, like 10 years, they're doing okay. But then there's sometimes, depending on the project, it just doesn't gain traction or just doesn't, get to where it needs. And they're trying different things out. They're not, they're doing different things with books. And then like international postage is, tricky if you're overseas.
Actually, in general, people who get in on it's also in general people who get in on the first one don't necessarily stick around for everything after.
Right.
That's actually, I want to say that's actually why, I forget the comic that Shazam or DC's Captain Marvel was introduced in, but that's why that started with number 2.
Oh.
Oh, right. Wow.
There is no number 1. It started with number 2.
All right.
Oh, wow.
So, is there anything going to be new in the Angry Fred universe, or is this?
Yeah.
Is this what's new in the Angry Fred universe?
Well, this is Gary Gorilla is obviously, but Angry Squad 3 is written. That's ready to go. I've just got to sit down and collaborate with artists to make that happen. That's always a tough thing to make. Bring to life.
Yes.
Finding an artist that's consistent and delivers and doesn't. Yeah, that's always a tough thing. But yeah, that's in the works. That's there. So, but there is another thing I'll show you as well.
Oh my god! And I was going to ask you about that. So
yeah, so
jump to question.
Sorry,
go ahead. No,
Gorilla's taken over.
I was going.
It's
5 Revolvers, the Bushranger Chronicles.
This is interesting. Like I've always been putting this thing on the background. So this here originally, this is the very first book that I created as a comic book. Because before getting into Angry Squad and all that, like I was like, how do I make a comic book? I don't know how to do it. Like no one really taught me. So I was like, I looked at script examples online, and then I wrote my own script. And I was like, it was only 10 pages, and I was like, okay, we're going to make it about Ned Kelly meeting an alien, UFOs, that sort of thing. Like we're going to put some historical elements in there so people can learn about Ned Kelly, but we'll take it to an alternate universe, make it a bit fun and interesting, weave that in. And I was like, okay, cool. Went out, found an artist, worked with him, and then I was like, okay, cool, that's cool. I've got this 10-page comic. I don't know what to do with it. Like, I just had it on my website. When you signed up to my website as a subscriber to the email list, you could, get this for free as a digital download. Okay. And then it got me thinking, like I had this bit of artwork on a little postcard at one of the previous conventions I've been at, and people were like, oh, is that Nick Kelly being chased by a UFO? And they're like looking on my table to see the book, and they couldn't find it. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's just, you go on my website, here's a card, blah, blah. And it got me thinking, a lot of people were saying that. I was like, this is interesting. And then there was some people reaching out, how do we get this story? So what I've done is I've just printed the 10-page book into this little copy, but in here I've got I've went out and sort of written the story a little bit. Like I've changed the lettering a little bit more in depth. Worked with a letterer recently, and then I've added in some artwork that I'm working on for the bigger scope project, which is called the 5 Revolvers.
Right.
And so the bigger story of this will take Ned Kelly, and he'll team up with three other famous Australian bushrangers. And
5?
Yes, well, this is the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's 4 bushrangers, and there's a 5th entity that comes into play. So each bushranger has a revolver, and then there's a 5th revolver that they have to find to create some bigger entity that they need to use to fight. I won't give too much away. Fight some war in the future. Okay. So, but I'm going to take historical elements of each bushranger. Because as a kid, I learned a lot about bushrangers. I was so fascinated by them here in Australia.
What's a bushranger?
So what you would call outlaws, like Billy the Kid and all that sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to ask you, is Ned Kelly sort of a Billy the Kid type, kind of a legend, myth, outlaw
that
kind of thing?
Yeah, okay. That sort of thing. Yeah, the Wild West, that sort of thing.
Because Billy the Kid's not a nice guy, as far as I
know. No, neither. I don't think Ned Kelly was either. But like, there's just this folklore here in Australia that there's a lot of Australians that love
Ned Kelly.
I don't know, love them.
Mick Jagger played him in a movie?
He did, Mick Jagger, Heath Ledger. It's funny. Dennis Hopper actually played another bushranger here called Mad Dog Morgan.
Sure.
In the 70s.
He's from Australia.
This is the thing. You get all these random, international stars to come over and play all these crazy people that we've had running around in the Australian bush. But yeah, Mad Dog Morgan was an interesting story because he was a bushranger that got called Mad Dog Morgan because he had a bad temper and he did a few bad things, to people and stuff. But he was of that same sort of realm as, running around and outdoing the law. But when Dennis Hopper came out in the 70s, I think, or something, some random filmmaker, I don't even know if the filmmaker was from Australia. I think he was some European country, and they came out and they made this, it was like an Ozploitation film, loosely based on the character. But from what I understand, Dennis Hopper didn't remember any of the experience because he was so drunk and on drugs.
Yeah, I like Dennis Hopper.
But it's a crazy film. That's it.
So Yeah, so your website said it's going to come out in 2023.
Yeah. So
Did, did it?
no, it
Okay.
didn't. Unfortunately, it
You,
just
you,
yeah, one of
what?
those.
You can edit a website, just so you know.
I know. It's
Is it available for purchase? Besides, I mean, I saw it as a you could download it. It's only available now at the conventions, or you can eventually put it on your website.
I may do. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with that. I'm not sure. Like, there's a few people who reached out and they want it, but that's like only
Who
five or so people. But I'll do the convention thing first and see how that goes. Just get a bit of.
who did you work with on that? Was it just
I
you?
worked with no, me and Nikita Vasilchuk from he did the first Angry Squad.
Uh,
Yeah, he's a Ukraine artist. So yeah,
oh, have you kept up with him since the?
I have. Yeah, I've kept in touch with him and so forth. He's still around, so which is good. Yeah, it's just our planets haven't aligned with working together at the moment. So yeah.
Well, that's fine. Well, you don't have to. Um, so you've been attending a lot of conventions lately.
Yeah, yeah. Well, one.
Well, but you're okay. Well, it seemed like it was two, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's your life. I'm just watching. So yeah, I could be wrong.
Maybe it was two. I don't remember now.
No, I thought
No,
you did a small one. Maybe that was a couple of years. Maybe that was last year or
yeah,
something.
last year I did the one at the high school at the
Right.
Maryborough
Yeah.
High School called Fraser Pop, which was 2 days, and then that really inspired me and got me invigorated. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to look at what's available here in just the state of Queensland in Australia. And there's a bunch of regional ones that sort of hug the upper north coast of Queensland.
Hmm.
So I thought, okay, I'll do them. So I booked in and I did Townsville first recently, which was good. It was just a 1 day event. And yeah, I did pretty well. Everyone was really impressed by my store, my books, and I sold a bunch of books to some cool people. People knew who I was, which is good. And you meet all the cosplayers and all the people that, mums and dads and kids, and you just have a
People
good
come up in
time.
grill outfits.
Hey, sorry?
Anybody come up in a grill outfit?
No one was in a gorilla
Oh,
outfit.
okay.
Yeah, I had some random guy in a McDonald's clown outfit that scared the crap out of me and like was intimidating me like really badly, and I was like, oh man, I don't like this. I don't like clowns. Um, but then
They
he
can't be
came back
scary.
later.
They can't be scary.
Yeah, he came back later and he took his mask off and he bought a book, which was nice. So,
Oh, so um, so I think I mentioned before the show, and I'm going to plug it now. We're going to be at LA Comic Con in October,
yeah,
uh,
awesome.
and so we're trying to
Yeah.
figure out, like how many books do you take to a
Yeah.
convention? How
Um,
that kind of
yeah,
stuff. So
yeah.
tell us how many.
I
How
don't
many?
know. I was going to ask. I don't know the answer to that because
Well,
I'd like to know
you've
what you
been to
guys
one. You
think.
sold stuff. I
I
mean, did you
have.
take 10 copies of each book, or 20 copies, or 5?
I took like 50 copies of each book because I've got like a few conventions to do.
Right. Okay.
Well, I just had stuff there just in case, but I don't know the answer to that. Like I sold quite a few books on the day, but yeah, I'm not sure. Like I don't know. I don't know the answer because like
Okay.
that event had 800 people roll through it. It was only for a day.
Yeah. Wait, but so
And
what? You're doing additional um, earthquake. You're doing additional cons in the next like two
yeah,
or
I
three
am.
months.
So I've got enough inventory here to sort of sort me out, but I don't know the answer. Like it
Yeah.
depends on the crowd and depends how engaged I am with the people. Like originally my wife was meant to come with me and my son.
Right.
Couldn't, and it would have been interesting to see if they were there helping me on the day, talking to people while I was talking to someone else to see
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
But I feel like it comes down to my pitching, my sales pitch as well, because I really tie in my whole, connected to my family and my dad and all that, and
Right.
talk about that. So
Well, yeah. So I mean, I'm the boys are coming, so
yeah,
they're sort of
yeah,
the inspiration
awesome.
for it.
Yeah,
How much does it cost to get a table roughly?
here in Australia,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So the comic conventions that I've got lined up, they can range from anywhere to $50 to $100 at
That's
these
Australian dollars.
small, yeah, Australian dollars.
Okay.
And then but there's the bigger ones there's the bigger conventions that they have here, which are called Supernova and Oz Comic Con. So they're like the equivalent of what maybe your San Diego would be. That's our sort of version.
Yeah, sure. Okay, go ahead. You can
My
say
Australian
that, but yeah, go ahead.
My Australian standards. But they if early bird table just to get an artist alley is like $300, and if you're late, it's like $500 Australian.
Yeah.
And that runs over 2 days, but they're a massive event. And there's a bunch of guys. I missed out for some reason. There's an event in November in Brisbane, Supernova, and I wanted to go. And I thought I got plenty of time, and so about a week ago, I went to book a table, and they'd all sold out. So it must be. It's unreal.
Quick. Yeah. The table at LA Comic Con is $700. That's American money. So
that's American dollars.
Yeah. Oh. So, I don't think I'm going to like make my money back, but I feel we have to do something, or otherwise.
Good marketing, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think it's a good marketing experience as well in a network. I love talking to the people because, like, most of the times, I try to do my sales pitch, and go, hey, nice costume. Oh yeah, I like that character, and blah blah, and try and do a line from the film or the TV show that they're in, and they start talking to, and then you try and weave in your book. And, yeah. Like I made a mistake of saying to one guy, "Oh, nice T-shirt," and then he sat there and talked to me for an hour.
I made a connection with someone. He noticed me.
I was gonna say, speaking of like table prices, San Diego Comic-Con is a non-profit, so you get reimbursed some amount on booths. Like if you manage to get an artist alley table there, it's basically free.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but it's like it's not very big, and
there's a waiting list.
Yeah, and there's a waiting list for everything at Comic-Con
because it's popular.
Yeah, not quite as popular as Supernova, but it's really I'm kidding, of course.
It's funny. It's funny though. Supernova here. I've got a bunch of comic friends, and a lot of them, I think, have done a number of them over the years, and then they actually get invited to come free of charge to they get that way in like that. So
yeah, there's a guy we know who was a guest at LA Comic Con one year.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Can I ask a question? Do you guys have at these conventions? Do you have, like, my friend calls them background extras, but they're like people that have dressed up as like Chewbacca in Star Wars or
cosplay?
Well, no. Like people that actually starred in the movie. So there was a guy at the Townsville Pop Fest that I went to who did the voice of Scooby Doo and the live action movies that James Gunn created. And he was there, signing prints and doing the voice, and there's a lot of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of autographs there.
Yeah,
they charge like 50 to.
To 100 or whatever. Yeah.
The nice thing is they have to sign the cover of the program for free. So if you have a program of the Comic-Con program, San Diego Comic-Con program, they have to sign.
They have
to sign it for free. Yeah.
Because that's a way of getting. Okay.
We got. Can't think of her name. Nicole.
Nichols or something.
What? Nicole. What? She played Uhura on Star Trek. And that year was the cover was Spock. So we got her to sign the Spock cover.
Nice.
Nicole something. I'm really bad. Sorry. Uhura. Yeah.
Nichelle Nichols.
Yeah. We got her to sign the Spock.
Oh, beautiful.
So, yeah, for free. That was great.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Yeah. So,
did you? Yeah.
What?
Sorry. No,
we got blurry.
I was just thinking about Todd McFarlane. Did you meet him?
Who?
Todd McFarlane.
Oh, no, we haven't met him.
I met Todd McFarlane.
Okay, sorry. We haven't. He has.
Okay.
The royal we. But tell us.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I got him to sign a Spawn comic. The interaction wasn't very long.
Yeah, a lot of times.
They can kind of convey you through.
Yeah. We one time they were having Ozzy Osbourne was signing stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there was 4 people supposed to sign the poster, and they basically, if they could have had it on a moving sidewalk, they would have. Because and you weren't supposed to. Don't talk to Ozzy. Don't lose eye contact. It's very. And so all 4 of us went through it. It was not. The lines are always not handled very well. I don't think. You're over, stand up over here. No, stand up over here. No, I'll move you. And anyway, so
It's a shame.
all four of us went through it, and I got the only poster that all four people signed, as it turns out.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
cool.
it's just it was not a fun experience because you spend a lot of time in line waiting to see somebody. You got that much time with them.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Maybe they need to change that. Yeah.
Well, they're not going to.
No, they will. Come on, David. Let's change the world. Let's disrupt it.
We had to stand in line to do a lottery one time.
Yeah.
That's how you guys met the Yu-Gi-Oh guy.
Yeah, for some autographs you have to stand in line for a lottery for a ticket, and that's how Jordan and I met Kazuki Takahashi.
Yeah, but I mean it's everything is a line at Comic-Con.
And a lottery now.
And a lottery, yeah. So like it's called.
Except now they do a lot of lotteries online.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you use your points to see if you can get so and so or whatever. Yeah. Sometimes,
so you don't have to like be there like 3 a.m.
Yeah, people. Oh God, yeah.
It used to be like that.
People used to stand in line, and you'd stand in line for, get there as early as you can. Stand in line. And, we ran out of tickets. Sorry. Yeah. So, did you sell T-shirts at your booth?
No, I just stuck to the books, stickers, and prints.
Okay.
That's what and the Lego figurines.
Did the prints sell?
I did like a package deal, so I like amped up my price of my book, but like it came with a print. That's how I and I justified the cost a little bit higher than I normally would. So
okay.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Did you make money doing this?
It paid for the table. It paid for my time there because I had to get accommodation, and it sort of covered that. So yeah, that's I treated it more as like a marketing exercise and just a networking thing, just to get a feel for what I was, how am I perceived, what's my audience here and stuff. So,
I'm hoping that we'll get more people to sign up for the mailing list, if nothing else.
Yeah, that's
free. We give you a free issue if you sign up.
Yeah. And I had some cards printed up that had like a QR code in it. I was just handing that out, and that would take people to sign up. But then I don't know. I've seen a few guys. They have just a clipboard with people write their names on it, but I don't. Have you tried that? Like where people write their email address down, and then later on you have to go back and log them all in? Or...
We did that the first signing we did, which was 5 years ago, or sometime back. In the old days before COVID, we had people. The problem is, then you're like, what is that? An A or an E or
I understand your handwriting.
We're just gonna do a QR code.
Yeah, we have a QR code on our business card. You can and join.
Yeah,
hopefully,
that's a good
people
idea.
do. And then we're actually going to offer. We're not going to sell T-shirts there, but we're going to give people. I worked out a deal with our supplier to give 15% off if they order during the con.
Ooh, that's good.
Have a little code they can put in.
Beautiful.
So, so we'll see.
Can I ask what you guys wear? Like, what are you going to wear? Like, to the.
We're going to wear gorilla outfits. No, we're going to probably wear hopefully Power Square T-shirts.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, the one we're rocking now, and then the ones that actually have the logo on it. And,
beautiful. Yeah, I've got that. I wear that.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
No, I do.
All the time. Yeah, these guys out in LA.
I do, David, I do.
So this was originally supposed to happen on this conversation was supposed to happen on June 7th because we had an issue coming out on June 12th.
That's right.
And so we wanted to kind of combine it together, and we'd actually shot a little brief video like in April with all the creators to talk about the issue. So when we had to substitute, we just stuck that in there. So it worked out. But we sent you, because we wanted to talk about the issues, we sent you, was it 2021?
Yes.
Mission Afghanistan. And so what'd you think of them?
I think they're great. Like, it's funny, when I'm reading through them, they remind me of something that I read as a kid. Just this, escape into a world and you get immersed into these characters, and it feels it feels warm and welcoming, and it feels very humble and very honest. Yeah, really well balanced. I don't know what it reminds me of. I have no idea, but like I just love I can see this becoming an animation or something. Like
We could too, but you got to
yeah,
convince somebody else to do it. But yeah.
but yeah, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. Like what we really liked about issue 21.
Hmm.
Um, am I allowed to talk about what happens in it? Like, am I allowed to give spoilers away, or am I like?
What do you think?
What do you think?
Well, tell us what
Well,
you
maybe
think, and then we'll tell you. If, oh no, stop!
not. Okay.
Actually,
Well,
when we have Rachel on the show, she like tells the whole story anyway.
okay. Okay. It just got really emotional for me. So obviously, like, there's the ticking bomb that's gonna go off,
Yes.
and um, Marty's like outside, and he's got the key, and you can see the cool time codes counting down, and then he's like gonna come for his brother, and then there's the big explosion, and I'm like, how the crap are they gonna get out of this? Like, this is not. Is it like it's just gonna be one twin brother, and he's gonna like point
That's
to
the
the other
Marty
the other
story from
brother
then
and
on.
talk to the other brother in some of the realm or something, like some sort of telekinesis from as a ghost. But then I was like, no, that's what's going on. And then obviously a time porthole opens up, and then he comes back, and that really took me by surprise. Like, it
Well, we
really took me
actually
by
had
surprise.
set that they could go back in time 10 minutes in issue 5.
Right. Okay.
So it
Okay.
wasn't like we were just surprising people with it. If they've been
Yeah.
reading along,
Yeah.
of course, I'm sure nobody has.
Yeah.
But if they've been reading
Yeah.
along, that was set up early on.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think I anticipated like, why don't they do that all the time?
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
It's under stress or
yeah,
something.
it's
They don't
tied
really
to
control
their
it. Yeah.
emotional state.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't control it.
Yeah. But so he was able to go back and rescue.
Yeah, just go back to save, and then he's obviously took Dr. Reynolds with him back, and then she got arrested, but then she might be used in the military, might
Yeah.
exploit her again
Yeah.
and stuff. But I wanted to ask a question about Dr. Reynolds. Is she Australian?
I don't know why.
Well, there's a line. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. Where she's like, yeah, this line. Okay, so like, setting up the scene is like 6 or so minutes to go before the bomb goes up, and then
Right.
one of the brothers is like, this bitch is crazy, and then she's like firing at him, and then she's like, where are you? She's like, where are you, you little bastard? Like, she's saying bastard. Like, to me, when I was growing up, where are you, little bastard? Like, that's very quintessentially Australian.
I never thought she was actually a character again from issues 3, 4, and 5.
Right.
So we brought her back. I never thought of her as being Australian. She could be Australian if that would help sell the book in Australia. She's Australian. And we put that little bastard in there because we knew that would be an Australian.
I don't know. I'm just, well, she could have been English as well, maybe, but
Yeah.
yeah.
We have a biography on the website, but I don't think it says she's Australian. But,
Okay. Well, she could be for me anyway.
well, if it would help, we can go back and rewrite Australian. She just studied here in America, whatever. Yeah, so I'm glad you liked it. That was the.
But I love the artwork in, like, especially in issue 20, where there's a panel where he's going in and he's cutting the wires in the in the thing, and it's like, snip snip snip. That's really cool. I love that. Like, it's just, it just reminds me of something. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I grew up watching a lot of Indiana Jones, and I delved into reading the books, and did watch the Indiana Jones Chronicles, back in the day, the TV show, and I was just like, oh, this reminds me of just, it had that feeling for me, and I was like, oh wow, just this immersive adventure feeling. And I like the I don't know how to say this, but the boys have obviously they've got girlfriends and partners or whatever now, and like, there's all the romantic sort of stuff there going on too, and I found that really cute and welcoming. And like, there's those scenes where the boys are at college, but it's like that. One of them's like, let me give you something to remember me by, before he goes off. It's like, it's just kind of cute.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were trying to be a little like, up their relationships at dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
because they're not going to be holding hands or that kind of forever.
Oh,
Um,
I do have another question as well. Agent Rivers.
yeah,
I'm not going to say he's Australian, but
it's Red Rivers, yes.
Red Rivers. When one of the boys is like, "Oh, Red Rivers," like the movie. Are we talking about the Montgomery Clift movie
Yes,
or
the John
the
Wayne Red
John
River.
Wayne
Yeah,
one?
I
Yeah.
wasn't. Is there another Red River I should know about?
No. I don't know. I wasn't sure. My dad watched a lot of that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
no,
So.
it's a good western. It's John
Yeah.
Wayne Montgomery Clift, and yeah, if you've
Yeah.
never seen it, obviously you should. But
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Okay.
it's
So that's just does that tie into anything else other than the movie, or is it
no, it's
just
just
yeah,
I
yeah,
I just named them Red Rivers and thought, well, we should at least obviously there's a movie called Red River. You would think of that first. So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and that was no other reason than just it was just a name I picked for the guy.
Yeah. Can can I ask, like, with writing the book, obviously David and Paul, you, you guys write it. What's like the process behind that? Like, obviously you're up to issue 21 now, and you've got 6 other issues in the works. You know,
Yeah,
um,
we've written more
outside
than
of
that.
that, but
Yeah,
yeah, you got more than that. Yeah, but like, are
actually,
you week? Are you meeting each other, and like you sitting down each week and like going, okay, da 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 da, this is going to happen. You've got like, what's the process? How does it work? Like, how do you pump it out? Like,
Well, I think early on we came up with a number of story ideas, and then as we mm, as we've gone on, decided we ended up deciding later sort of the order to do some of those ideas and making edits as needed to fit with the
yeah, and then we were able to go back and sort of fix 1 through 5 a little bit
yeah
when we did the graphic novels, or the trades, I should say, and then we did a little bit of that on the next one we had, which is only now available on Library Pass. We did another trade of 7 through 10.
yeah
Yeah,
then
or 6 through 10, 6 through whatever, 6 through 9.
then also occasionally we come up with ideas while we're working between issues. So like Jar and I came up with an idea of 2 issues happening at the same time because they're influenced by because we thought it was interesting when Judge of Bizarre Adventure did it. So we decided to try that.
So Trevor wrote one
Ourselves.
issue about Eli, and you wrote one issue about Marty.
Yeah,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
they happen at the same time, and that's coming out later.
Right. And
But so Jar and I each wrote the scripts and made sure they lined up, and then we decided. Because Jar and I also wanted to emphasize the yokai aspect, so we decided, well, that was about the time to.
yeah, and I wrote one about getting Dr. Atlas. He was taken
Yeah.
away. Well, we have to get him back into the story. So
Yeah.
how does he get out of it? And then we wrote which the one we're working on now, art wise, is a spin-off of following your example, but it's
Yeah.
taking Billy and Raven and setting them off on their own story,
Oh, beautiful.
and
Nice.
see if that if people like that, maybe we'll do more of those. But right now,
Yeah.
it's sort of a Power Squared story.
Yeah. That's under the franchise name. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome.
And
What's
then-
how do you do you have like a room where everything's like on the walls and like you've got things where you like reference, or it's just all in your head and you just know it?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, we just sit down. We don't have any. It'd be nice if we had a room that we could dedicate to this. But we don't have that room. No, and
I don't know. I find that really admirable and just like really unique. Yeah, it's
it'd be really cool if we had like a bookshelf behind us and all that sort of stuff. But yeah.
yeah.
And sometimes while we're working on an issue, the artists have also given feedback.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Especially. So the next 2 issues are already done, and they're coming out later this year. And it's. I'm sort of setting up where they meet their harshest villains, which are
Right.
reintroducing their parents into it.
Oh, okay.
And there's a twist, and we'll
There's
get
a
into
twist,
that right
yeah.
now. But
Yeah.
so there's they're not tight with their parents, but
Okay. Is that what the image is on the last page of issue 21, where it's like they're against the brick wall and there's like
that's the
shadows
cover
of
for the next issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Which I work
Mm.
ahead a little bit like that. So
Yeah.
and the next two issues are the last issues that Rachel drew for us.
Yeah.
Right.
She decided to try something else. Now she's still involved. She did some drawings for us recently on the website plug.
Yeah.
If you look at powersquarecomicbook.com/campus store, the campus store, that she just did that drawing for us of the campus store. So we put that up there and stuff.
Nice.
So you feel like it's a real place to go. The funniest thing is we did have somebody one time write to me asking about the nursing school at San Ramiro Community College.
Right. Okay.
And I was like, no, it's a fake school. There's no
school.
there's no nursing program.
You know,
Though we did have her develop a diploma that we could send out to people if they want to graduate.
oh, wonderful. So people can bespoke themselves and get really, really into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we should maybe we should do that for people who've been on the mailing list for a while. So see if they respond. But yeah. So
yeah. That's cool. I'm just curious about the whole writing process of how you guys collaborate and come up with the stories. But it sounds like you've got like a really nice.
And we actually have
like
a bunch more stuff that we haven't done.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Can I ask how long it takes for one issue to sort of like from say, how long it takes to write it, and then how long it takes to produce it from artwork to lettering?
That's always the catch-22. Because writing, some of these we started writing like 2019, and we're like, oh, we do it. So then we like revise it or go through it again, right?
Yeah.
The art, my goal would be 8 pages a month from the artist. Then the next month would be 8 pages from the colorist, and the artists just keep going. And then the next month would be 8 pages from the letterer. The problem is that flow doesn't always work as well as we'd like. But we're going to try to change that up.
Yeah. Otherwise, depending on, as for like the writing of the issue, I like to outline it first, so that can take like a day or two, depending on what else is going on, of course.
Right.
Or how much free time I have, and then it can take a few days to write out the issue the first time.
What I do, I'm a seat of the pants writer, and so I'll sit down and think of the story and write out stuff, and then go, okay, now I need 3 more panels on this page, and then go back and sort of figure out stuff. So it's a different way of writing.
Yeah.
But
are you guys very descriptive in how you describe your panels, or you just it's very just to the point? Or?
My experience is it depends. How descriptive you get depends on how well you and your artist are on the same wavelength. Like written stuff for Trevor, and I don't have to be as descriptive with him because it's based on an idea he already has, so he kind of already knows what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, they have their own side project.
Yeah, but for Power Squared, I've learned I have to get more descriptive because I see it in my head, but that doesn't mean that the artist sees the same thing. So
and sometimes there's a reference to like something that you want to no, I want it to look like this, and you have to try to find an image that looks like that. And sometimes it's like, okay, I get it. There was one scene, one shot, I guess I'll say, in one book where I wanted Mocha to do this, put her hand out like this in front of, and I couldn't think the way I was thinking. I'm old enough that I was in a car before they had seat belts.
Yeah, me too.
And my mother would do this if we're coming to a stop. You can't find a photo of that anywhere. So I was trying to use that, and I'll try this other thing. So sometimes it's that kind of stuff. You're trying to find references. In this one issue, I sent images from a film noir to the artist because I wanted. Part of it takes place in a sewer, and there's a movie called He Ran All the Way. I think that's the name of it. Or I'm screwing that title up. But anyway, there's a scene that takes place in the LA sewers, and I was kind of go for that kind of look. And so I sent her images, and I think even sent her maybe a clip from the movie or something. But just, I want it to look like this, that kind of stuff. So, and sometimes it's just different points of reference. We all don't have the same. Right. So.
Can I ask another question? Are you guys interested, or like, would you be open to getting guest writers in or anything like that, or was that ever crossed your mind, or?
Well, you asking if you want to write one or something?
I don't know. Just a random thought.
I mean, we're not a money making operation, so
yeah. But like, if someone was to come and say, "Oh, we'll write something for you for free," or I don't know,
it's interesting. One time, when we were first looking for the first artist, this guy we hooked up with, again virtually, this guy from who was a animator at DreamWorks, and we were sending him the book, and he said, and he rewrote it and changed the whole thing up, and we were like, okay, this freaks us out that you're doing that sort of stuff. And then he couldn't end up drawing it anyway, but that was sort of like, whoa, didn't that kind of freak you out?
Yeah, but it did make us think about it.
Yeah, it did. More. Yeah, it did. But at the same time, it was.
I guess if there's no like sitting down and going, hey, what if you tried this or that? And it's like you just go and take the work and just redo it. That's a bit odd.
He actually kind of came at it from a different way. He wasn't necessarily. He was adding things to it that just seemed a little out of. Well, that's not.
Oh right, okay.
That's not what we thought of. And I do like if the artist has ideas. We're very open to, it's not written in concrete. It's going to be exactly this, and
accelerating.
So it's a collaborative, and so we want them to have a say in it. And actually, the script for Billy and Raven, the artist kind of freaked out about, so we had to rewrite it. So it was a little more. It was going to be a little more adult than it ended up being.
Yeah.
Which is good. We talked about it and we decided, okay, you're right. So, but anyway, you have to listen to the people you're working with.
Yeah, beautiful, awesome.
Kind of watching you in this talking about writing sort of makes me think of the old story about if you had 1,000 monkeys with typewriters, eventually they'd be able to get
yes.
Yeah. Hey, this one's pretty close. To be or not to be, that is the blah, blah. Okay, I forget. It's old Bob Newhart joke.
I remember the Simpsons version. It was like, it was the best of times. It was the blurst of times.
So I guess maybe we could have guest monkeys write it for us.
Well, hey, I'm available if you need me. Guest monkey right here.
Okay. So if people wanted to reach out and find you, how would you recommend they do that?
The best way is just to go to my website, which is angryfredcomics.com. Hit me up there. You can contact me. You can get to my socials through that, or you can buy a book while you're there, or just say hello. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you being on it, and the commitment to the gag is commendable.
Why not? I think this world, everyone needs a bit of a laugh and some fun, so why not?
Before I do the sign off, I'd like to mention I got fact check here. Shazam first appeared in Wiz Comics number 2.
Okay.
Again, there was no number 1. Alright, so
Thanks for clearing that up. Thanks for clearing that up.
If you are watching this on YouTube later and you liked this, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment Australia.
That's right. Do you think Dr. Reynolds is Australian? So until next time, I'm David Hankins,
I'm Paul Hankins.
and want to thank Lucas Scheffel for being on the show. We'll see you next
Thanks,
time.
guys. Bye.
Bye.